God brought you in this world. Yeah, he used your parents' temple to get you here. But he brought you into this world. They don't owe you nothing. God really don't owe you nothing. You owe yourself, and that's it.
Nobody owes you nothing. And people may sometimes do you wrong, and you think that, and they may feel like they're not wrong. So what you have to do, you just have to like brush that off and learn. Sometimes to learn life lessons from things, from situations with people.
Nobody owe you nothing. You know what I'm saying?
They don't.
You owe yourself everything, but don't nobody owe you nothing.
Welcome back to another episode of Three Hearts, One Beat. I'm Lee.
I'm Tim.
And I'm V.
And today's episode, guys, is we talking about a topic: nobody owes you anything. I used to think like this, like when I got my adulthood, man, mama ain't do this and daddy ain't do that, and when we was kids and stuff like that, they was just doing the best that they could of the knowledge that they had and how they was basically raised. But at the end of the day, God brought you in this world. Yeah, he used your parents' temple to get you here. But he brought you into this world. They don't owe you nothing. God really don't owe you nothing. You owe yourself, and that's it. You owe you, because at the end of the day, it's like when you continuously walk this earth and think people owe you something, apologies and all that, keep moving on. Like, don't look for people to continuously. Now, do people supposed to apologize when they're wrong? Yes. But don't be standing there like looking for an apology, because guess what? Sometimes you're never going to get it. But at the end, they don't owe you that. You feel like they do. They don't owe you an apology because on their end, you probably was wrong too. And they feel the same way. So nobody owe you an apology. Nobody owe you anything in life. Like, you owe yourself, and that's it. So you just got to keep fighting for yourself, because if you continue to sit back and wait for people to give you something, you're going to be waiting a long time. And time waits for nobody. You're going to be sitting there waiting, and 10, 15 years been to pass, and you still going to be waiting.
True.
So nobody owe you anything at all.
Not a thing.
Right?
I know you was looking at me. But no, I do feel to piggyback off what she said, yeah, nobody owes you nothing. And people may sometimes do you wrong, and you think that, and they may feel like they're not wrong. So what you have to do, you just have to like brush that off and learn. Sometimes to learn life lessons from things, from situations with people and stuff. But they don't owe you nothing, and you shouldn't walk around being mad and aggravated and don't talk to people and all that kind of stuff, because both of y'all might see yourself that they may feel they need a apology from you, and you need an apology. Now both of y'all sitting there waiting for apology and not talking, and life is moving.
Right.
Sure is. Life do be moving without you. It's not waiting on no man.
I think what happens with a lot of us is when we get to be adults and you be looking back and you be like, man, I wish mama would have did this, or I wish daddy would have did this. Why they ain't do this here and why they ain't do that there? That's you looking for some type of validation or something on why you not where you want to be or whatever. But the whole truth is you, because it's lessons and stuff you had to learn. So you had to go out there and take certain hits to learn it. So it was never about them owing you. Now, yes, they have some parents who just do their kids dirty and down bad. You know what I'm saying? But any kid or any adult who have experience, learn from it and try to correct it as you moving on your path. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like, you ain't do this for me, or you ain't do that for me, or you wasn't ever there, whatever the situation may be. Just keep pushing, keep focusing on what you have to focus on. But I would tell anybody, like, talk to God, heal. If you need a psychiatrist or something, go find you one, talk to them. But the main thing is to love yourself and to heal, and know nobody owe you nothing. You know what I'm saying?
They don't.
You owe yourself everything, but don't nobody owe you nothing. Don't live life thinking this one owed me, that one owed me. Oh, I bought you 2 hamburgers when you was hungry one day, so you owe me. Nobody owe you anything. When you do something for people, it should be out the kindness of your heart, and you should
Facts.
not be looking
And
for
that's the
nothing
truth.
in
And that's
return.
the truth.
Facts.
If you looking for something in return for something somebody did to you, I mean did for you ain't do it from your heart.
Right. You
One of them
and
peanuts.
they do be catching you, son.
Mm-hmm.
To slick pick it back off what you saying. So when I say what I'm about to say, it's not to disrespect nobody, but I didn't heard of some of the most like some really bad stories of how kids' parents really did them. You know what I'm saying? We all have our stuff. In some situations, it's worse. But some of those same kids become something major. Like the movie me and you was watching, I left you because I couldn't watch no more of it. When the kid was getting abused by the
That true
adoptive
story.
parents, it was a true story, and he was literally physically getting beat and abused, but became a famous author,
Right.
made money from being an author, telling his story. It's like we all, a lot of people, I ain't gonna say we all, but at some point in everybody's life, they look for somebody to blame on their failures of why they didn't do this and why they wasn't successful at that and why they, that's not nobody's fault. That's yours. You know why it's your fault? Because you're sitting back there looking for how you trying to point the finger at somebody so you could, it could justify why you ain't get to where you should be in life.
And the
So
whole world is on you.
right, it's on you at the end of the day. Like you can't blame people for your misfortunes. You can't blame people. Like for instance, you late for work. You could be like, man, it was traffic. Okay, but the next day, it's still traffic.
You ain't fixed that situation.
You ain't fixing it. So that's it's on traffic. It's traffic fault. Man, y'all know I gotta sit in traffic. No,
No, leave 15, 20 minutes before what you was leaving
I'll,
before.
I'll find a different route because there's
A
always
different
a
route?
different one.
Right.
Thank you.
Like
But-
how we be. Go ahead, man.
Oh, I was just getting ready to say, like nobody owes you nothing, and you do. And sometimes when things happen, you learn a lesson. What is one of the things I always tell y'all? It ain't always got to be just family or anybody. Somebody might come to you and say, "Learn me $30." You learn it to them, kind heart, nothing said. But I guarantee you, they learned the lesson. They know they can't come back to you again because they didn't give you your money back.
Did we have this conversation on another podcast that you did with somebody who came back?
Somebody came back to me
You don't remember that
and asked me for
conversation?
more money. Like,
Yeah, that's the part.
but that was my lesson to learn.
Learn to
Like,
say
that was
no.
just, yeah,
That was your lesson
that was
to
just
learn
a
to say
joke. That was just
Right.
a little joke
yeah, but that was your lesson to learn to say.
that they got
And-
bull
and-
people
and-
out here.
Yeah, you might be sitting on the answer. I can't believe them. No, I don't have it. That's all we gotta say. So I don't,
it was the fact you say, I'm going to give it to you when we get paid. We hadn't got paid about 15 times. And in between that, after that, you came ask me for more money.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
But like you were saying, like with the traffic situation, by us being out here and we see the traffic, it's like sometimes when we be out and it be about like 6 in the morning and don't no cars be out. But by the time we come back, now it's like 7 something, 8 o'clock. It don't be heavy traffic, but you could see it building. And what I would joke would be, these early birds who don't want to get stuck in that 9 o'clock traffic. They like, I don't got time for that.
We live in Atlanta.
like you say. So when you go do, you go either be a part of that 7 o'clock crew and just be to work early, a little bit extra early, that 8 o'clock crew, or you go wait for that 9 o'clock crew when everybody.
Right.
Knowing they have to be to work at downtime for 9 in the morning, they leave out their house at 9 in the morning, and expect to get to work
Right.
at 9:30.
Or be like me. Find your streetway and you can leave home about 45
The
minutes.
streetways don't even work no more.
You
No,
right.
because
It
everybody-
depends though. It depends on the time of the day in Atlanta. It depends on the time of the day. If you leaving from downtown to come to where we stay at anytime after 2 o'clock, be prepared to be stuck in traffic. That's all I'm gonna
And
say.
the streetway used to be the go-to way back,
Back in the
then.
day. But you know what's the crazy part about the people that be late to work? When they get their write-ups or get suspended or get fired,
It's somebody
it's
else's fault.
somebody else's fault.
Right.
You was always late. It's you being late is on everybody but you.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
that's
because
the
people don't ain't evidently been taught what the meaning of a clock is for. It don't mean move when you want to move. If somebody asks you to come to work and you sign papers and say I'm gonna take that job, and they say I need to be there 7 o'clock in the morning. Like me, I used to have to be to work for what 6. I'm up out of my bed at 4 o'clock in the morning doing what I got to do and stuff. When my ride come, they have to be to work for five
Right.
thirty. I sit there and I wait. What is I'm gonna do? If I have a time to be to work, I gotta move. That clock is moving. That clock ain't standing sitting there waiting. I'm gonna get up at 6, knowing I need to be there for
Right.
6, and think the clock gonna just sit at 6 until I walk through the door.
That's some stuff Lee be pulling, knowing she gotta be to work for
no,
6.
no, no, no. I don't wait until the time I gotta be there. But I ain't getting up 2 hours early than what I got. If I gotta be there for 6, I wake up about 5:10, 5:15.
But then that leave you time you like to pray. You don't
You
no
gotta,
time to read.
yeah.
Like,
Sometimes it's meditate
You
and
getting
stuff.
your mind prepared for that day.
See, when you get up earlier, you're not just jumping up and
It used
going
to
brush
be-
your teeth,
I
wash your
personally-
face, put on your clothes, and go out the door.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I gotta meditate,
I gotta chill for a
chill.
second.
I might sit down, look at some news, or do
I ain't doing
something.
that neither.
No, I'm just saying that's what
I
I
know.
used to do. I might was sit down, look at some news, meditate, talk to God, and do stuff. And by the time I'm ready to go out the door, I didn't did a whole bunch. And when I go through the door of my job, I'm going with a good attitude. I'm not going in there with a bad attitude because I decide to no, I need to be here for 6 and I get up at 5:30.
And then you're taking it out on everybody at
Everybody
work
else because you didn't do what you
Right.
was
But
supposed
that's
to
the
do.
crazy part. I was never that person.
I ain't talking about you. I'm just
No, I'm
talking
just saying
people
in general. In general, I'm saying like I never understood people like that. It's like I could pop up out my sleep and I could be late and still I could be tired. I'm not taking that out on nobody. One, I don't wake up with that kind of energy in my body, so it's like,
I know that's what saying I never understood. Like when people be like, "Oh, they must have woke up on the wrong side of the bed."
like I don't wake up with that.
What was going on in your dreams
Oh, you
that
was
you woke?
fighting and you was at war in your dreams. Huh? Like, who wakes up like that? Why you wake up like that? And when you wake up like that, you might want to pray on that because
Yeah,
that's
and then
bad.
that's the number one thing is to pray on it because sometimes I do have weird dreams and stuff, and I get up, I just start talking to God and stuff, and like how we leave out now. At 5 o'clock when that alarm go off, I get up. I be don't want to get up, but I get up because I want to walk. I meditate. I talk to God. I figure try to do this, do that, and have things and stuff situated. But to just me, no, I ain't gonna have to be to work for 6 and get out my bed at 5:30, and can't get no meditation in, no talking to God, no nothing. Now I'm just running, rushing, brushing my teeth, washing my face, doing all this stuff, and go out the door. And expect to get to work in 5 minutes.
Right.
Well, I can't say 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I worked that close like twice in my whole life of working out here, but that's another subject.
But yeah.
So it's like even when it come to your dreams, like when somebody close the door in your face, guess what? They don't owe you nothing. They did what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to close the door in your face because that
Right.
wasn't the door God wanted you to
You
go
go
through.
to.
They did their part.
They did what
Now,
God
won't you
wanted
go
to
do your part? I'll
And
tell a
learn.
quick little story. Something I experienced. V may know when I start telling the story. I had this one person told me, if you get your CDL permits, I got you. I pay for you to go to school and everything. Asked them. I was in here. I studied for that test, the CDL. I passed it. I got the permit. Me looking for that person to hold up their end of the bargain. At first, I
don't
blamed
think
them.
he said he was gonna pay for it. I think he said he knew who a school that was
Or
going
something like that, but basically I didn't have to come out my pockets for
Right.
nothing. Basically is what he was saying. But when it didn't happen and he didn't make that happen, and then when I seen him again, he was coming up with all kind of excuses. I was a little upset with him because I felt like he played me. At the end of the day, he didn't owe me that because it was up to me to keep you in and work hard and got them
got that
CDL
CDL.
permit. You were supposed to go figure out how can I get my license, and all I had to do was just learn how to get behind the wheel to be driving with my CDL license. I had the permit, like you get a driver's learning permit. I had the CDL permit. I blamed him for years. And when I sat back one day, I was like, that wasn't that man's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Sure wasn't.
That wasn't his fault. That could have been God sending him to me to tell me that, because he knew that was going to take me to drive to go get that.
Mm-hmm.
But he also knew I probably was going to do what I did. When it didn't happen, I let the CDL license permit expire, and I never tried again, because it was, I ain't going to try again right now because that's not even a part of my goals at this point. But at that time, it was like, or it could have been for other reasons. You know what I'm saying? But I blamed him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You
What he
can't
did,
blame people. Yeah,
hmm
you can't blame people
he
for what you
encouraged.
didn't do. He basically said, I got you if you do this and do that. I feel like I held up my
Now,
end of the bargain, but he didn't. But that still wasn't on him. That wasn't his fault, because I could have did the whole opposite thing. I could have went to somebody's school and really learned how to drive, or went to one of these driving things around here, all these trucking companies around this area. But it's like,
but yeah, what he did was encourage you to do something that he saw, probably saw in you, and God sent him to encourage you. But in
He was encouraging. He was a liar.
he
but
lied.
no, he encouraged her, and she did it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was her job to not look for him to do anything else. He did what God told him to do, encourage you,
Basically. Yep.
and you did it, and you got the permit. Now the rest of it was supposed to be your work to find out how I go through doing this. Don't look for that person. That person did what God told him to
Right.
do.
Right. He
Now you had
crossed
to
your
go
path
do.
the way he was
You weren't
supposed
to
to.
cross your path, and now you have to. You should have took it and went further on your own
Right.
and stuff. So yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. It really
And
wasn't
that's
his
the
fault.
whole right, and that's the whole point. Nobody owe you a thing, because you don't. It's like we come. A lot of people in this world today feel like people owe them. You owe me. I did this for you. I did that. And
Mm-hmm.
if you, like you said earlier, if you doing something for somebody, looking for something in return,
Right.
then I don't know what to tell you, because how many people did something for you and
Mm-hmm.
didn't look for nothing in return? But you seem to forget the people that did for
I
you and
was
look for
just about to
nothing.
say that.
But you looking when you do something for somebody. Like she said, I bought you 2 cheeseburgers and some fries and a drink. But what about the person that bought you an extra large pizza with extra toppings on top when
Mm-hmm.
you was hungry out there? That was
Gave you money to pay a bill.
right.
Bought you some clothes one day. It's
Put
a
gas in
multiple
your
little
car
call.
or
Right.
whatever. Like, you forget, people forget what people have done for them. It don't have to be the particular person that you helped out,
Right.
but it was somebody in your life that did something for you and didn't come to you and say, yo, you remember you owe me that? And for people that do that to people, because you got people out there that do that,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't mean it for your good, but they got people out there will do something for you, ain't looking for a thing in return. Something this lady taught me with the lessons of when you loaning people money or you giving people stuff. Like if somebody say, can you loan me $45 or can you loan me $50 and I'll pay you back? A small part may be like, okay, I'll get it back, but I don't hold my breath on somebody paying me back, because I gave it to you because you came to me and you told me you needed it. So when I gave it to you, you
Mm-hmm.
got it. But most of the people, besides that one person that I have given money to, has never come back. And it's like what she used to always say, just be happy it was a $45 lesson and
Right.
not a $450 lesson. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So it's like you just have to take it like a grain of salt and just keep on going with life. Like life is life. You go life you, and you gotta fight back.
Right.
And you can't expect people in this world to always give you something, an apology, give you money, feed you,
Mm-hmm.
clothe you, give you a roof over your head. Like, you just have to figure it out. It's not easy. There's a lot of things we have to figure out here in this world. Me and you didn't try to start multiple businesses. We never once asked anyone for a penny on any of our business inventions. We
Mm-hmm.
went out there, we did what we had to do, and we didn't blame nobody. All we did was we sat back, sometimes a little bit longer than we should have, but we sat back and we was like, oh, it was the geographics of this area.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we that wasn't for us. Maybe we shouldn't have did it this way. Maybe we should have did it different. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was different
We
things that
started
you
right.
start learning from when you start checking you and be like, you know what? I could have did this better.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I ain't do this better. Maybe I should have. You know what I'm saying? And it's always not for you to be discouraged, just because Lord God is sending you through all those lessons.
So when he bring you where he need to bring you at,
You gonna
you
remember
remember
all
all
them
those
lessons
lessons.
from the
Something,
beginning,
it
and
was
it's
a
gonna
reason
help
that
you.
was happened because yeah, once he bring you where he wants you, he didn't put everything there. You just gotta remember.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't look at it like, oh man, family ain't support us. Oh man, family ain't do this for us. Oh man, my friends ain't do that. For one, I never looked for a handout.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not big on handouts, but if you willing to help and it's not I'ma help you, but I'm looking for something in return,
Right.
help. I take help. But handouts, that's not something I look to have. Like people just handing me stuff. That's not something I don't I pride myself on a lot. Like I don't want handouts from nobody, which nobody should ever just want a handout. Because if you out here, like I didn't see homeless people like, I wash your windows for food. I just want food. They willing to work
Mm-hmm.
instead of just saying homeless need this. No offense to those that do it. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's situation is different.
Right.
But it's just handouts is not, it's not it for me.
Like the homeless guy that I ran across that time working downtown Atlanta, and he was washing the cars. So
Hmm.
he basically wound up washing my car, and he was really charging 10, but I gave him 20.
Right.
And then I had got some business cards made for him, but I never had the opportunity to give it to him because I could never find him again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even with calling a number or whatever, I was never able to find him again. But his words to me was exactly what you just said. His words to me was like, "We homeless out here." He said, "Yeah, I don't have nothing, and I gotta, he had a basket with all his stuff." He said, "I gotta to get these buckets filled up. I gotta spend $5 to fill up each 5-gallon bucket."
Right.
And he was like, "I buy all my own personal cloths and all that type of stuff." He said, "But what makes me mad is y'all out here working. A lot of y'all barely making it. So why I'ma beg y'all for y'all money and get mad when y'all tell me y'all don't have it, and a lot of y'all be struggling, barely making it." He
Right.
said, "But if I could give you a service, now it's not like me just nagging you for money. I'm giving you a service, and hopefully you'll come back for some more business versus me just."
Right. And that's respect. I give you respect right there.
Right.
Because it's like, do I feel bad sometimes when I roll past homeless people? And it's not that I don't want to give it to them. Sometimes I can't. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't really genuinely have it.
Right.
So anytime that I could, I do.
Right.
But he was right. Like a lot. I think. I'm not saying this is how it go, but maybe because we in cars, they feel like we have it all. Just like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people judge a book by its cover. Not saying all of them do that, but I'm pretty sure some of them think like that. Just like you got some people that look at a big house and think everything is perfect on the inside. It's
Mm-hmm.
not. Every people think because certain people parents have this amount of income that their life was like this. When we done heard some stories through the pandemic how some people was rich kids, parents have money but ain't really do for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or they
So
was going through hell in their house.
right, so it's like you can't judge a book by its cover. And when people say that, that's the truth. Like,
It comes for because a lot of people be wanting what they think you have. So they
right,
build this assumption like, oh, you was raised in a 2-parent household. I ain't have that. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So your life was better because you had 2 parents. Where you didn't had a lot of 2-parent households and kids that came out of them and was like, no, it was trash. And then you start explaining some of the stuff some of these
right,
kids then went through, and then you sitting there like, dang son, I ain't know how y'all made it through that. God, that's how I made it through it.
right. That's real
But
though.
and then you have some people who's in a single parent household, and had the best life. You feel what
True.
I'm saying?
True.
So, and that's the thing, like you were saying, stop judging books by its cover. You got rich families who parents is like a-holes to their kids.
Mm-hmm.
And you have rich families who do the best they can of what they know for their kids. Because
Right.
just because they rich, that don't mean they know how to be a good parent, because it may be their first time being a parent, and their parents probably was trash to them, so they just passing down hurt. So you gotta stop
Right.
judging that book
Right.
by
That judging that book by a cover, that may be another podcast episode right there. Judging a book by its cover, because it's crazy, son. And a lot of people be having that down bad, son.
like we seen on social media around 2020, because everybody was in stock for the pandemic, and you had a lot of our people, our black people, was like starting to record and post in their house and everything. And you would see a lot of other people on there, and they'd be like, "Man, I thought all black people live in the hood." And you be sitting there like,
Wow.
"Yeah." So and they'll be like, "Nah, we all don't live in hoods." You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
we work and we still, cause the world has created this assumption of the black community. You know what I'm saying? But when I used to see that, I used to be like, bro. And that's when they had like this little small trend going on, like when, black people was just showing. It wasn't like no stunting or stuff. Like, no, we do live nice. Like,
Right.
because they was under the assumption that we all live in, poverty line areas and all that. But to me, this whole country is poverty. So, I mean, if you want to look at it like that, this country is just a big
Repeat
melting pot
of third world country.
right.
That's what
So
this is over
that's
here.
why I don't understand why people be trying to like separate up in this country, because it's a big third world country.
Right. People think certain countries is third world countries because of what this country show them.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, dog.
They show you all that because they want you to stay here thinking you got the best, when the whole while you don't have the best.
Sure don't.
No, indeed, no. All the stuff that's coming out on how they feed, the stuff that they do in the food, that's in that podcast too. You know what? I'm going to just keep that one to myself for right now. Because when we get on that side and start talking about that stuff, man, look.
But back to the world.
I would say, let me stop y'all, because y'all about to.
Nobody owes you nothing. But there's one thing I want to do, and I ever see where I can. I would love to just fix food and feed the homeless. Lord, I would love to do that and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope one day God bless me where I can. Because I would love to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Just fix food and bring it to people and hand them something to eat.
Right.
Give them some stuff that they may need and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
because we are all God's children.
Right. That's,
And they just fell on hard times. And when you have and you can help, you should help.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can't help, that's understandable. But if I ever get in that situation where I can't help, I'm gonna do what God want me to do. Lay it on my heart to do.
I'm going to tell you this. Make sure every plate have the same stuff in it. Because if not, it's going to be a trade infest. I'm telling you.
I don't care. 'Cause it's
No,
just
I'm just
poor.
saying.
I know what you're
I
saying.
seen it. I seen
But
it with
yeah,
my own
that's
eyes
one of
down
mine.
there. I ain't never seen. I was like, so okay, so
And it's not like
they
I
had some
owe-
people. They had some people feeding them. And this plate made it have a ham sandwich with spaghettis and a bag of Doritos and like a oatmeal cookie pie. And they gave all of them like a Gatorade and a water. But each thing, because if you get the boxes from one of the stores, they gonna have the different packs of chips and the different packs of little cakes.
So you gotta get a box
They
of chips that
walking-
with the same kind of chips. Gatorade
They
got to be the
walking
same
down
kind.
the street. Man, I trade you these Doritos right here if you give me them Ruffles. Man, look, I don't eat this little chocolate cake here. Can I get your pie? I'm saying that like. All right, man.
That is one of my things I would love to do, is just fix plates.
mine's too. To feed the homeless. It's
Yeah.
just to feed them, because it's like, And it don't even have to be just the holiday season. It
So
could
no,
be
it could be
anytime.
Right, to have a spot where
anytime.
they could come and eat
Mhm.
like
Like
six,
that'll be
7 days a
dope.
week.
That'll be so dope. Just giving back. That's what
Hmm
it's
Yeah,
about. Just
just
giving
giving
back,
back.
but you're not looking for nothing in return.
Nothing.
Because
Just feeding
do
somebody.
stuff
And
out the
somebody got a
kindness.
meal in their stomach. And sometimes you can eat once a day and survive. But just think of all the people who don't even get to eat that one meal. When some people, some of us might be purged to eat 2, 3 times a day, 4 times a day if we feel like it, and stuff. But that's one meal a day will keep them, nourished and stuff. And if you can help, you help.
Right, because it even feel like sometimes like how when we'll be going in the store or something and we see a homeless person going in the trash, whatever it may be, or they be outside begging for food or begging for whatever, and we'll go in the store get whatever it is we getting, and then go grab a bunch of stuff where they could eat on. You
I
know what I'm
remember
saying?
that time me and you was in the car right there by Dollar Tree. It was
Hmm
Dollar Tree when this happened. I know it then went up and up and up, y'all. But it was Dollar Tree, and this man was in the trash digging for food that people might have left on their plate. I told Ronnie that hurts. That hurt. Me and Ronnie went in the store in Walmart, and we bought a sandwich. We bought him some tuna packs,
hmm
got him some water, got him
Some Gatorades and stuff
grades
like
and
the
stuff.
racks and stuff.
And
Right.
we said, okay, now we'll come back and do what we got to do. Let's go find him and give him this stuff.
He had started making his way behind the building, I think.
Yeah, no, he had no. We was looking for him. I said, where the man went? A man had took him in the Dollar Tree and bought him some stuff.
Oh.
And remember, he coming out the Dollar Tree, and we handed him the bag and said, "It is for you." When I tell you that man put that stuff in his basket and walked fast around there by that Cato's. On the side of Cato's, because they ain't got nothing else on the side of Cato's.
hmm
And he was eating.
Mm.
And that it's not that I want credit for it. It's just just to know that, okay, that's one less real hungry person in the world today.
Mhm. Yeah, I didn't did that too. Like the Dollar Tree when it was Dollar Tree and not Dollar Tree and Beyond, because they doing too much with them prices over there. It was a family though. I ain't gonna lie. I would feed a homeless person because I didn't fed just grown. It's
Yeah,
just
I
grown
didn't feel
people by
homeless people
themselves.
too.
But I'm talking about like just grown people by themselves. I didn't did it. But when I see kids, like that do something different to me. And they really be homeless. Like the parents will be standing there. The lady, like I think it was a lady when we was in Kroger, we went to Kroger, and I'm walking in, and you know what I love though is when you're not the only one thinking like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when it was this lady. It was cold outside. It was when it first started getting cold, and she was wrapped up with her baby sitting in front of Kroger, and she wasn't begging or nothing. She just was sitting there. So I went in there. I'm just to go. I went and got what I had to get, and then I got some extra stuff for her and the baby.
Mm-hmm.
But as I was coming out and putting her stuff, they had stuff by her already. And then as I put mine down, somebody else put something down, and then somebody came behind and gave her money.
Right.
And when you see that, you like it's humanity in the world.
That's
Like
all it is.
that's a beautiful thing to see.
That's
Like
all that
you
is.
don't want to see nobody be hungry. Bad enough they outside cold. Like when I be feeling bad, like it's cold out here. I'm running to a car. They gotta stand out here. They
Right.
gotta sleep out here. This is bad, son. Like we have too many homeless people on the street, and a lot of them, I ain't gonna say they comfortable with it, but a lot of them they know that's just life for them at that moment,
At that
and they
moment.
don't feel like nobody owe them something. You got some that feel like people owe them the
something.
world, but you got a lot of them that don't feel like people owe them because that's their situation. You know what I'm saying? Like
I ain't mean to laugh, but sometimes when
no, you
say
got
that,
them out there.
when you said that, son, you already know what scene came to my mind. Remember when I was downtown and I came home and told you, sis, you never believe what I see today. So we was taking our break, and me and I want to say it was two. I know who it was. It was like two other people. We just standing on the corner talking.
Oh yeah.
I
When
don't smoke.
somebody took something, that man.
I don't smoke, but homegirl walked up Like if she was a part of our conversation, she was just looking, shaking her head like, yeah. My man put that cigarette in his mouth. She just went to his mouth and took that cigarette and just was looking at him and just walked off. I was like, oh, they different down here.
Yeah.
I was like, they different down here. But even though that was a different situation, but a lot of people who is homeless, they wasn't always homeless. And I'm not talking
Right.
about when they was kids or whatever. Like I told you the story when I came home. I'm always see me and Lee be talking about everything. Came home and told her the story. I was at work one night and they had this guy. He basically like knocked on my window because I was in my car. It was like at the end where the last of the people was leaving. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he knocked on the car and he was like, "Excuse me, ma'am. I don't mean to bother you, but do you have like some water or anything where I could get something to drink? Because I'm real thirsty." And I looked in my bag. That's when I used to carry that big old, feel like a
Right.
suitcase. You know what I'm saying, with all my stuff in it. And I got him some a Gatorade. I said, I have water and a Gatorade. What you want? He was like, I take the Gatorade. I said, well, you can have the Gatorade and the water because you asked for water, but you know. So I wound up giving him the water and the Gatorade, and we just standing there and we talking because at this point, by him knocking on the door, uh, the other guard had came and was like, "Yo, everything okay?" And I was like, "Okay." So we all standing there and we talking, and I told him I was like, "Yeah, we good," and he was just talking, and then after him standing there for about a good 6 7 minutes or so, what we talking, he was like, "Man, I used to be a doctor." I said, "For real?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "You have a battery, a charger?" I said, "What you need to charge?" He had one of them old flip phones. You remember the flip phones y'all had? He had one like that. But you know, at this point, we have the type of phones we have, and the charger wire is different.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't have nothing to charge that. He said, that's okay. He said, I'm going to find juice from somewhere. And he was like, y'all see, this me. And then he said, this is my family. And then he started crying. And I was like, well, what's wrong? So basically, he homeless on the street because he was driving a car that killed his family. And he was the only survivor. So he was, his mind, I guess he basically, but he did show me the picture with him and his family. And he showed me the picture like with him and his medical clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And he been on the streets for some years at that point. And I just pray wherever he at, he done got helped and,
Right.
you know, back on his path. But you would be amazed. Like, you have people who go through a traumatic situation in their
Situation.
life and they lose their mind and they out there. You know what I'm saying? I done met people who work for top tech companies. You know what I'm saying? And the tech company fold and they done lost people working on the movie sets for in downtown Atlanta. Man, they
Oh,
have
you
some.
see a lot.
You got some people down there that is very smart and they homeless today because back in the day they was living like we living today, but they didn't know their lives was gonna take a toll,
Oh, a whole
total turn. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why you be kind to everybody. You should do it because it's common sense and human decency, but you never know what people going through.
through, and you never in life know what God may bring. You have to bring you and stuff. It ain't sometimes that God gonna always bring you up. Sometimes something might happen, and you may be in that part. You want to, and he gonna show you. See when you didn't pay attention when that was happening to somebody else,
Right.
and now you want people to pay attention to you because this is happening to you. So you gotta pay attention to all that. That's why I always say, but like I said, I would love to do that and stuff because that's just something God laid on my heart.
Mm-hmm. And that's a beautiful thing though, because it's always about helping, like giving. I ain't gonna lie, I would like to feed the homeless. Shoot, I would like to donate clothes to like shelters where they can have clothes, like blankets and all the stuff that a lot of us take for
The
granted.
people used to
Yeah.
come with the women's shelter stuff, but they stopped coming. Remember?
Yeah, I don't know what that was, what happened, but it's like
But you probably just can go online and find a woman's shelter and pack some stuff in
We
it
did once before. We
and
was
just take
somewhere in
it to
Atlanta. Remember that drive?
Mm-hmm.
and take it to them and stuff because you never know.
You know where it was at? You remember a while back when Daddy used to cash his checks, and it used to be around this gas station, but we was way in Atlanta somewhere. You
Mm-hmm.
remember that area?
Mm-hmm.
We had to pass that up and go further down.
Okay, I kind of know. I don't
Yeah,
know exactly the area, but I know where they used to
and it
go.
was a shelter, and we gave them like a whole bunch of clothes because we had like bags. I think some bags from you, some bags from Leap, and I can't remember if it was a because they had the whole area that was like low income
Mm-hmm.
families or something, and as stuff came in, they made sure they wash it all, and they could come in and choose from that like that.
This episode, I ain't gonna say it took a full left turn, but it went into something still positive.
Right, you ask God to
To
lead us
lead,
and
right?
let us talk about what we need. We may touch on certain things, but if something else come that need to be addressed, he gonna lay it on our hearts to address it.
Facts, son. That's what it's all about.
Hmm.
It's really like we may start off with a topic. It's not guaranteed we gonna stick to that topic, but it's always good to just, it's like a flowing conversation. Like if we just having a regular
Conversation with
conversation,
each other, yeah.
right? It's not about how can I put it? Like because you don't want to put too much pressure on yourself. Like we gotta stay on this topic, we gotta stay on that topic, we gotta ask this question, we gotta ask that question. It's more about you have to just flow with it, be yourself. That's what our podcast is about. Is being yourself. Like be who you are, be your authentic self. Say what you gotta say what's on your heart. Like my mama was about to make me sit over here and cry because I felt like she was tearing up when she was saying
Hmm.
what she was saying. But that was a beautiful moment, son. That was a beautiful moment. So if that anybody else have anything to say,
No, ma'am.
so that would conclude this episode of Three Hearts, One Beat with no one owe you anything, and humanity is a big thing. Find your humanity and help your fellow brother, help your fellow sister that's in need. So you keep on growing, you keep getting better, and you just keep on thriving to be a better version of yourself each and every day. We want to thank you guys for watching this episode. We love y'all. We thank y'all to our subscribers. Y'all, we are now at 124.
Look at God.
God been blessing us, so we want to say thank you for watching. We pray you continuously keep watching. I'll hit that like, that share, that subscribe, and that post notification bell when we drop the video. You could get notified. So thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a blessed day. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace.